As you know, we are French, and we need to be two French people in order to make a speech in English. So, many thanks for you for being here. We are pleased to present the first white paper of the General Assembly. Oh, sorry. How can I? Yes. We are pleased to present you the first white paper of the General Assembly in France on CML before the wonderful audience that you represent.
If CML is a wow disease, nevertheless, it is still a public health issue that is well worth close questioning. CML intends a whole series of human and social issues. How can people living with CML play their rightful role in society? How can we elevate their pain? How can help their families to support them? How can we help the patient and their families financially? To answer these questions, LMC France was decided to organize the first États généraux for CML and to produce a white paper. Let us first see what the États généraux are.
A little bit of history. At the time of the French Kingdom, États généraux was the name given to special assemblies convened by the King of France to determine the states of affairs in the kingdoms. The representatives of the people of the kingdom submitted their list of complaints. The États généraux met together up to the 5th of May 1789, date of the French Revolution. Even if these assemblies no longer apply to a revolution, this États généraux of today remains a privileged means for reflection and consultation. This project aims to create a strong mobilization to establish a consensual statement regarding CML in order to improve the care and the follow-up for patients at all stages of the pathology.
The États généraux enables to write a white paper. Basically, the white paper is an unofficial book published by government or by a recognized organization to order to make public a report. It presents a problematic issue and how to solve it. In the UK Parliament, all official documents are called white paper. The concept of the white paper was then developed to include professional organizations, healthcare, etc. Why has LMC France decided to write a white paper and to hold États généraux for CML?
This CML white paper originates from the following through process. Over the past 10 years, the treatments and healthcare technologies used in CML have undergone a complete revolution with the amazing progress that has been achieved in research. Also, in our country, the treatments are on a very high standards and the caregivers competent and motivated. Patients who live with CML all hope that these new medical breakthroughs will be accompanied by a little more humanity in the way they are managed. They no longer want to be just a person requiring physical care, but feel that it's important that the psychological, economic, and social aspect of their lives be factored in to create a holistic approach. They feel that all patients, all the people around them, should adopt this approach. Patients with CML are also really so aware on the fact that their future depends on medical research. So it was important to make a formal document explaining the real life situation of CML patients and of their families, because it's through the feedback from the patient that we realize that they do not reveal everything to their doctors. It's important to have a photoshot of the lives of patients 10 years after their arrival of these treatments. During 15-minute consultation every 3 or 6 months, The patient can evidently not reveal to a specialist the complexities of his or her life, social, economic, professional, etc.
The goal of the General Assembly was to make a multidisciplinary assessment on everyday life of the people with CML and their families, make people aware of the CML and to ensure that the patients and the disease are given visibility, strengthen the ties with the medical profession and its leaders of opinion, target patient management as a priority, explain what CML is to the general public via conferences, reports, general events, encourage unprecedented actions from the government and medical officials.
And how to do that? By sitting meetings with patients and their families throughout France and collecting written contribution. LMC France organized the first General Assembly for patients with CML in 2013. For the first time, roundtables were held all over France to learn more about how the patient and their family felt and hear their complaints and hope. Experts, patients, and their relatives were interviewed, and an appeal for written contribution was launched to complete the process. The patients expressed their view freely, directly, and frankly, and even if some were quite lively or even emotional about what they said, they always remain dignified. The CML General Assembly was a project carried forward by the patients, for the patient, bringing together all the stakeholders.
The roundtables enabled for patients and their families to be able to give evidence of their everyday life with CML, to identify their problems, their needs, and expectations, to find the ways of improvement, to target the people who would be able to study the problems and then solve them, to establish a document that will be the base to write the white paper.
Here is an overview of the content of the white paper, what we are going to deal with 4 main points. The statements of patients and their families, the testimonies, the reports by experts, and of course, the 16th proposal of LMC France.
The first part of the white paper is about the patient's testimonies in verbatim form. For the first time, LMC France wanted the patient and their relatives to be able to speak out in an official document that was to be handed over the healthcare players and the French institutions. Many of them took advantage of this opportunity to speak freely and bear witness to their experience of living with the disease. They also wanted people to hear about the all too often unknown battle that they have to fight each day.
The second part of the white paper is about patient stories, as you will read in the book.
The third part of the white paper presents what the expert in CML said on several themes. Indeed, some famous hematologists devote all their efforts to understand the mechanism of CML and research the best possible treatments. It seemed to us that it would be an excellent opportunity to open up a forum so that they can express their points of view and transmit a personal message of hope to patients.
The fourth part of the white paper presents the proposals that LMC France submitted to the public health authorities and governments. During the roundtables, the patients and their relatives had an opportunity to express their proposals based on 4 essential issues: seeking public recognition for CML, improving the relationship between the patients and their physicians, social integration and financial aids for the patient and those who care for them, familiarizing non-specialized physicians and other players with CML. Thus, as a result for the first General Assembly, having taken the minutes of all that was said at the roundtables, LMC France has opened up a think tank in the following pages. Its goal is to promote reflection and come up with some proposals on how to improve the management of people living with CML, according to the commitment made to the participants.
Here you can see on the screen a part of the official messages of the white paper. As you can see, we gave the white book to all the French health authorities, and we had the great surprise to be invited to the Élysée Palace by the French President of Republic. You can read it in the poster room.
And you can vote for it if you want. So, working session. Here you can see the work session which we had with the health authorities and institutions. All of them were particularly receptive and attentive to our proposals. They all offered to work to come up with solutions to improve this quality of life, the quality of life of patients. On the occasion of the World CML Day, the white paper has been widely publicized everywhere among the patients, doctors, and specialists. Thus, we have invited all the concerned parties to get involved on our proposals. For example, with Mr. François Hollande, President of the French Republic, all the members of his cabinet, we were able to discuss all our proposals on the white paper, not the newspaper. We were given full support on the CML. In particular, with Ms. Marisol Touraine, Minister of Health, we were able to present and discuss the problem facing the patients with CML, adherence, medical general therapy, the rates for loan, for example. With the National Institute of Cancer and its president, Ms. Agnès Buzyn, we were able to discuss different concrete projects, such as the structured management of the patient in specialized centers. We stressed the need for CML observatory, not easy for French. Following Professor Agnès Buzyn's advice, and with her help, we are going to interact with the different sectors of HANCA, the National French Institute of Cancer. With Professor Dominique Marinaki, President of the French agency in charge of the safety of drugs, we are working on several projects concerning side effects, new drugs, etc. It's up to you.
We sincerely hope that these projects will rapidly become real to avoid future disadvantages for CML patients. LMC France is committed to follow up the realization of the proposals and to report the results to its members. Apart from making institutions and health authorities aware, this book allows the patients to open a dialogue with their medical teams on questions beyond the result of the PCR and which are not or only superficially dealt with. The General Assembly facilitated meetings and fruitful discussions, stressing the difficulties that patients living with CML and their relatives experience in everyday life. In the coming years, LMC France will organize the second États généraux, CML Assembly, of CML in France, in order to demonstrate the progress made in the treatment and quality of life of CML patients. It will be important to action the results obtained in light of the commitments given by the health authorities and institutions. We will, of course, present the new challenges expressed by patients, their families, and the scientific community.
Once more, all our thanks to CML Horizons who invited us, and a special thank you to be so close to patients. Thanks for being with us.
And now, I'd love to give officially to the members of the steering committee our white paper in English, of course, and I have a photograph together. Thank you. Thank you very much.
If Baija, Gayura, Yan, Yana, Pat, and Zengshen, and we want also to have Jelena on the photo. Please, Jelena.
Pat?
Milena, could you join us?
You?
Do you want to stand there or here?
Zengshen, Pat, Jelena.
Like that.
Thank you.
This is in French?
English version.
English.
Yes.
Translation.
Hebrew.
Pat, thank you very much.
Mine is in
And for
Serbian.
you.
Bert, can you organize the photography, please?
Thank you.
You're a professional, so I'll let you do.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just a little point. This white book, we can't take enough because in the plane it's not possible to take a lot of book. So we have 10 exemplary for you if you want. And this white paper will be completely downloadable. You can download it on the website of LMC France, in the French version and in the English version also. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Question.
Thank you very much, Mina and Stephane. I think that symbolical handover was also beginning of the handover via internet or in written to all who need such a good tool, such a good book, and also encouragement for other organizations to make also such similar project. So now I would open the discussion. And since I don't see very well, I would really ask to raise a hand to that I could help with the questions. Just a moment. Okay, just one note. Novica advised us that if anybody of you have a poster outside and would like to pick that paper with him, that now technical people are demonstrating the posters. So if you wish to have your paper back, you should pick it now. That was Novica's message.
Sorry, Milena, I
Okay.
just have to add, if you don't want to leave, they will be at the welcome desk, so don't worry. I'm not going to take them.
Okay. Well, okay. Would anybody like to ask anything?
Okay, may I ask, Mina, would you see the implementation of these recommendations relevant just to France or even in other countries? How do you see that?
Of course, this project will be implemented in all countries with the local contributions and the local situations, goals, etc. It's very important to have a local situation and history about this, to build this document.
And may I ask you, so I think that you are, of course, offering some help to those who would like to follow your
Of
project.
course.
Can you maybe say in few words how could you help the ones who would like to follow and make such a project? How would you help?
We can explain the process, the construction, and step by step how to build this general assembly and editing a white book in the country interested by this project. No problem. No problem. It's our pleasure.